Good morning. It's Monday morning. Here I am. Here we are. And we are going to have a great time talking to you. You know that we're going to go dive right into it because it's a very quick show and we want to make sure that you get some value. So we have special guest today, Darlene Grimes, and she's going to be teaching us about SEO stuff that we can do ourselves. So we all know that SEO stands for search engine optimization, and we all know it's important if we want people to be able to find us on the internet. And we probably also all know that we can spend a lot of money having other people do that for us with our website and things like that. What Darlene has for us today are some tips for us to be able to do that on our own. The idea being, of course, that you guys, like me, like Linda, and I believe like Darlene, we'll find out, are working from home and sometimes sort of scrambling to do all these things, and maybe our budget's not so big, or maybe right now is not the time to hire somebody to do that for us. So, Darlene, you can go ahead and unmute and turn your camera on. Linda, why don't you say hi and let us know. Do you have a question for Darlene, or should we just throw it all to her?
Well, good morning. Linda Kay here, Interactive Synergy, and I'm excited to hear what Darlene has to say, because from a search engine optimization perspective, working with a lot of clients, I've got a whole set of ideas and tools, but I love to hear how people are actually using it in the field themselves. So,
Fabulous.
Darlene.
Hi.
Hi, Darlene. So tell us, before you dive in, where you are, and a little teeny snippet about what has given you the authority to teach us a little of this. And do you work from home?
Yes, most of the time, yes.
Well, just like the rest of us.
Basically, I've been an entrepreneur most of my adult life, except for a 10-year stint where I actually had a job as the marketing director of the Crystal Cathedral Ministries, which was an international ministry with over 800 employees. So, but the rest of the time, I've had various businesses and mostly working from home. And I've had to figure out ways to do things at low cost or free, as we all like that, like to do. And that's my biggest thrill, is like to get a bargain or get something free that I thought I was going to have to pay for. So I've found ways to do a lot of search engine optimization for free. Now, I do it for my clients. I don't do it for myself. Funny, because I get my clients from word of mouth, referrals from other clients, because I don't take a lot of clients. But I teach my clients how to do this. I do a lunch and munch with seminar every month. And I took a Google training to be a Google trusted agent. And it was a 3-day training, and it was all geared towards how to optimize your search engine optimization on Google, which is the largest search engine on the internet. So once you've got Google down, then if you want to go on to the other search engine, that's the main one.
Which is why we use Google Hangouts, because we know Google loves Google, and so Google will help Google. And that means it's going to help us. So, again, I want to remind you, Darlene, and for those of you who are watching, Darlene's got a computer system that means she's far away from her microphone, which kind of means it's hard to hear her a little bit. So I'm going to be reminding her that she has to speak up, because I know this information is great and we want to hear it. So where would you start? Let's just say every single one of us is working from home. We want people to notice us. What's the first most important thing we need to know?
Well, like I said, Google is the all-important thing. So you want to make sure your information graph on Google is up to date and accurate. Now, if you do not have a actual physical business address, that's going to be a challenge, because it's all based on Google Maps search, which most millennials especially, are on their phone, and they're either searching with Google or Yelp or something to go. So when you have a brick and mortar business, it's really, really important to get yourself your information graph on Google Maps filled in. Now, if you have a home-based business like this audience, then one of the really cool things you can do is get yourself a business address that can put you on Google Maps. So one way to do it would be to rent post office box, in like a mailboxes, etc., or something that gives you a street address that's actual, not a PO box, but a street address. And then fill in your infograph for your business being located there. Now, I realize people may go to it and see, oh, it's a mailboxes, etc., or it's a post op. It's not a real business. But your information will be there, and your pictures will be there, and stuff like that. And I'm going to show you that in a minute. The second thing would be to get in on an executive suite or an office share with somebody that, there's a lot of these executive suites where they have a receptionist, and you can get your mail there, and you can rent out conference rooms, or you can even rent out offices. And if you can find somebody that has a similar business to yours that's very compatible, but yet isn't the same, they might be willing to do an office share with you, or share the cost of that every month. So that's a way to get an actual business address. So when people go to that, they're going to see the building that the executive suites are in, and they're going to be very impressed. Or this big building. But, it depends. Google will not allow you to have a business on Google Maps as a residence and do a virtual tour where you go inside the business and look around. However, you can put as many pictures as you want of your business. And what people do when they're home-based, because when people search your address, they're going to go see your home, is they put, instead of a picture of their home, they put a picture of their logo, their client work, their, stock photos that have to do with their business. So let me just show you that really quickly, because that's one thing. And then, of course, your website and your blogs have to be optimized for search engine optimization. And that's something you can do yourself, but I would definitely get some help from an expert. Once they show you how to do it, you can probably do it yourself from that point on. Another thing would be make sure that it's listed on all the local apps. There's a lot of local directories. And if you're trying to track local business, you want to make sure that you're listed there. And that's really free and easy to do. You just go to them and you put your business on them. Another one is to make sure that, Google your business name. Number one, just Google your business name. See what shows up. And make sure that the information that shows up is accurate. Because you can, a lot of these listing places, these directories, will pull information off of various sources. And it many times is not correct. So just, contact them and change it. A lot of times they'll have an interface where you can do that yourself. But contact those directories and make sure that your listing, wherever it appears on the internet, is correct. And the easiest way to do that is to just Google your business name and Google your name and then see what shows up. So
okay, I'm going to interrupt a minute because you just gave us a ton of stuff, and I know you want to share the screen, so I'm going to let you, I think that's what you want to do, mess around, and I'm just going to summarize. So the first thing, there was a couple first things, but the first thing that we talked about was getting the map updated, which I think is what you're going to show us in a minute. And then, and you have to, I think you called it an infograph. You can't do that unless you have a physical address. So one way is to rent a mailbox, and another is the executive suite kind of idea. And I'm curious what Linda's doing about either one of those. And then going on, okay, make sure your website and your blog's optimized.
looks like Sarah's internet froze. I can't hear you, Linda. I think you're muted.
You are so right on there, Darlene. And I'm sure Sarah's going to be right back at this. Were you able to pull up the map, or do we want to continue while you're doing that?
Oh, I was just listening to her, and also I can pull it up in a second. The other thing would be, I forgot, the last thing I wanted to mention to make absolutely sure is that you have a YouTube channel. And that. Yeah, on the top.
Why does Google love YouTube?
Maybe because they own it. All right.
Hey, I hope somebody's there because I got something happened to me.
You're back.
Yay! Have you been saying interesting things? I don't know what
Yeah, of course.
happened, but I'm back. Never had that one before. So tell me where we are because I'm hoping something while I was gone.
I wanted to tell
Are you there listening?
back. Your lower third is back. So that's funny.
So were you able to share the screen?
I'm getting ready to do that right now.
Okay, good. So why don't we dive right into that, and then we'll go back to where we were if I can figure it out.
Okay.
I'll minimize that puppy because we don't need to see me more than once.
Notes, I got everything. Okay. So for this example, I used the Kardashians store in Melrose Place in LA just for fun. They have a clothing store. When you type in the store name, and on the right side you will see this. This is the infographic right here. You'll see a little, you know, indicator for the map. Something that very few people know, which is really, really cool, and this is just lots of fun, and it's based on the Google Street View, which is these pictures down here. You know the Google cars drive around and take pictures of every single inch of the planet?
Wow.
Those pictures go here in your Google Street View. And then you get to look at the front of the store. And you can look around at the whole street. You can look and see what's going on in the neighborhood. And your house is here on Google Maps. I guarantee it. So this guy called the Peg Man. Let's go back to the map. Trying to go back to the map. There we go. This guy down here, see him moving?
No, where?
The Peg Man. He's down at the bottom right-hand corner of my screen.
Okay, and I think our pictures are covering it all up. Do you agree, Linda?
Okay, let me.
Yeah.
All right, on the bottom right-hand.
Oh yeah, there I see him now. Thank you.
The bottom right-hand of my screen here is a little guy, and he moves. And you put your mouse over him. You got to grab him, you know, press your mouse down, and move him to wherever you want to look on the planet. On the planet. Now I'm going to move him into this store. See right here?
Uh-huh.
See all those little dots that appeared when I grabbed the Peg Man? Those
Yeah.
are all the stores that have or places of business that have an interior view, a virtual tour of the inside of their business as well as a street view tour. So we drop them in here, and now you can be like Peg Man, and you can just walk into that store. Come on, Peg Man.
Come on, Pegman.
Of course you.
Okay, so here's my first question, which is, if we don't have a brick and mortar business, does Pegman do us any good in any way?
No. So I'm just showing you because it's fun.
Okay.
Okay, so we're going to go back to the infograph. But something that very few people know about this Peg Man, and he's really fun for exploring, like if you're going to travel or something. So back to business. This infograph will have information about your business. And if you have not claimed it, it will say right here, it says add a missing place. It'll say claim this business. So you click on that, and that's going to take you over to Google My Business. So www.google.com/Google My Business. And that will take you to a page where you can update everything that's Google. And that will update your information graph, update your make you a Google Plus business page. Google Plus business page is what Google draws their information from. They draw from several places. Let me get out of this, and I just want to show
your beautiful face again.
I wanted to show you the information graph.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So let's go back to.
Okay, no, stop screen sharing.
Stop down here. I'm like Google.
There we go.
I got trained in search engine optimization, but not in how to do a Google Hangout. So it's the Google My Business is probably the most important thing, and that's how you get all optimized on Google. And very few businesses know about this. And you don't have to have a brick and mortar to Google My Business, but the way they verify that you are an actual business is they send a postcard to your place of business with a PIN number. And you have to go back and put the PIN number in. Now, you can update your place of business with photos without having that verification. But the postcard gets you verified. So now you're a verified Google business. So the main thing with search engine is you want people to spend as much time as possible on your content. So if your information graph is updated with lots of pictures and people are looking at the pictures, if you have lots of reviews, on that information graph is also a place for reviews. People will read the reviews. That will keep them on your content. If you have links going into your website and people go to your website and are on your website and there's something on that website that keeps them there, it's called stickability. So basically, the more that your viewers can stick to any content that you have on the internet, then that's going to get you higher in the search engine rankings. That's just one. I mean, this is a vast topic. You know, you can talk for days. I'm just trying to summarize it. So get that information graph updated. Get your website optimized with the right keywords and the right. You know how when you go to Google and you go to you search something and there's a paragraph underneath the link of information of what the link is about. Make sure that that paragraph makes sense. I can't tell you how many clients that it'll say in that paragraph, this business has been closed. You know, their business is not closed, but they haven't updated anything. And somehow Google pulled that it was closed somehow off of something somewhere. So always check, the descriptions under the links of anything that has your name or your business name attached to it. And
so much I gotta put the brakes on again. Yeah. And now where'd that go? So what I was going to say way back there, just to clarify, when we get because I have a P.O. box already, because that's where I get my mail, and I'm wondering if that's as good as the other thing, renting one like with one of those companies. Is the U.S. Postal Service just as good? And I want to say to both of you, I have no idea if this is live anymore, so if it's not,
you are
record it again because it's really good stuff. But I have the weirdest looking screen I've ever had, so I don't know if it's on air or what it is because none of it looks normal. But we seem to still be talking to each other, so I'm enjoying it. Linda, I want to give you a chance to ask a question or to clarify something.
Absolutely. Darlene talked about the information that goes into the profile. I think one of the most important things, and well, let me just ask you this before I say it. How many different phone numbers do you have for yourself and your business?
For me, I have a Google Voice number and my regular number.
Okay. And Sarah, how many phone numbers do you use?
I have my regular phone and I have a Google number. I don't know if it's a voice number.
Both for business?
Hmm?
You use them both for business?
Yes.
Yes, see? That is one of the most important things today is information consistency. Google really routes a lot of what they do based on that phone number. So if you have conflicting information, you might find that either you don't have a profile under the right phone number, or they have bits and pieces of you under both, but they really like to centralize it. And there's a lot of services these days that are cropping up that help you sync your information. Make sure that your phone number and your address are correct across all of the different directories, because that will really help improve your positioning with the search engines and directories. So that's really, really important. The other thing that Darlene kind of touched on, and I don't know if she's going to go back to it or not, but she talked about reviews. I have a couple of potential clients that have come to me and have said, well, I'm afraid to promote myself online because I had a bad review 3 years ago, or something bad happened to me and it was in the news, 2 years ago, or whatever it is. And they think they should avoid getting their information out there. And what they don't realize is the more information they get out there, the more it pushes that information down. And they're doing the absolute reverse of what they should be doing. So,
Absolutely.
Great information, Darlene.
Oh, thank you. And you're absolutely right with the reviews. And that's what I was saying, like to look at all your listings and every place you're listed and make sure that it's consistent. But you brought up a great point with the phone number, because I use the Google Voice for business and I use my cell phone for personal, but I used to use my cell phone for business, so there is, 2 numbers out there for sure. So thank you. So I wanted to talk about YouTube, because a lot of us are home-based businesses and, we don't have a budget to hire a videographer and make a fancy, video of our business. And one way that you can get around it very, very easily is to just use still photos or stock photography. And there is a wonderful website that gives you free stock photography, which it's more, you know what, the name just lost me, but it has to do with morgue, M-O-R-G-U-E. And what it is photographers that can't sell, they might take like 10 photos and sell one of them because it's the best one. The other 9 go on this free website, Morgue Photo. I can get everybody, I'll email you a list with links of all the things I'm talking about. So, just take stock photography, take those reviews or lines out of those reviews, testimonials, good things people have said about you, lay them over the stock photography, and make a little video. And YouTube even has a software built in for free that makes those videos for you. So even if you have no money, you can still create a video. And of course, you can create a video by using your phone, your smartphone, and, holding it out like a selfie and just making a video, or having someone else hold the phone for you and make a video. So that's the cool thing, is that photography is advanced to the point where, they have actually shot full-length films with iPhones now. So you can pretty much, but lighting is important, So if you have the funds, it's probably a good idea to hire a professional videographer for like the first one to show you how to set it up and how to, create the video and how to do the lighting. Then you can do the rest.
So what are we going to do with this video that you're making? It's really important to be on YouTube for some reason, beyond?
Yes, because YouTube is the second largest search engine next to Google. And if you have a video, you're going to be higher in the rankings. Number 1, because have you ever noticed when you search something in Google, you'll see the videos after the sponsored ads, after the organic listings, then below that is videos. So that's going to help you, plus the fact that people are spending time on your content. So if they're watching a video, and I wouldn't make it more than 3 minutes max, unless it's an educational video, and people have used educational videos really well doctors, dentists, chiropractors, psychologists, people that have information to impart. You can you can make information videos longer, but for regular, just an introduction to your business, I would even make it a minute. And then, but people are now spending a minute on your content, so the Google robots are going to take that into account, because normally people spend less than 7 seconds on someone's content before they click off to something else. So, you get them to hang out for a minute on your content, that's good.
So, okay, so we have a library with Monday Momentum of, I don't know, maybe 100 videos at this point, but they're all 30-minute long. So is there a downside to that? I mean, they have our names and things like that linked to them. Well, I'm assuming that's partly good, or something good about that.
No, Momo is an informational video, so people are going to watch longer, of course. But you already have a channel. If you have a Gmail address, you have a YouTube channel. And so at the top of your Gmail, when you're checking your inbox, the top right corner is the key to everything Google. So you go to the top right corner, you go to that little bunch of boxes, and you find YouTube.
Waffle.
Yeah.
Waffle. Okay. So we're not doing anything really awful. We just need to get our map figured out.
Well, you have a little intro video that's not as long. So
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, that was the idea. I mean, that's why we try to dive into the content right away, because we know that people are going to tune out. I mean, that much I know. And so I don't spend a lot of time introducing, and this is Monday Momentum, and thanks for coming, and I'm Sarah, and all that stuff, because they can get that at the end if they watch the whole thing. And when they watch the whole thing, speaking of the whole thing, it's just about over. So this is the plan I want to make. I have no idea, like I said. I mean, I have a wonderful lower third now, yay! But up here, the thing that usually says on air is just this blank box. It has no words in it whatsoever. The one down there that says end it, that one is also a blank box. It's the various, I think we might just be on a video call at this point. I have no idea. So we're going to reschedule if that's the case. I know the first few minutes were really good, but they were only a few minutes. But if we are still live, any last minute, any things that anybody would like to say? Darlene, would we will be putting your website information up on the YouTube channel and on the website. So if people want to find you, they can through that. But is there anything else you want to add to that?
Sure. My website information is just about my marketing strategy work. This SEO is just related to one little piece of it. But I wanted to add that we've talked about nothing but Google. There are other search engines, and there are other things you can do. So you can just search engines, and it'll give you a list of them. And Bing and what's the third one? Anyway, social media is also very important, and that's a whole nother seminar, so I didn't get into it. But if people spend time in your social media content, it also goes into that equation, that algorithm.
And what's your website?
It's just my name, www.darlene, D-A-R-L-E-N-E-H, initial H, Grimes, Grimes.com.
Okay. Then we will make sure we have that on all the stuff. Oops, I'm talking too much. Linda, want to say bye? Want to say hi?
All righty. Well, just want to mention that, Darlene can help you with the search engine optimization, the marketing content, things like that. But when it comes down to the owned media and they're sending you to the website, if your website is not all it should be and it's not able to convert visitors to customers, feel free to look me up, Linda Kay. I'm at interactivesynergy.com.
Thank you, Linda. So, Sarah Coolidge saying goodbye. It's Monday Momentum on Monday mornings, and we're here every Monday at 8 a.m. Pacific time to give you a kick in the rear and a shot in the arm and a little shove down the road, because now it's time to get to work. You're working from home, which means maybe, like us, you might get distracted once in a while, but now it's time to get serious. So buckle down, and we want to hear all about what you did with the information we shared with you. We want to hear what else you'd like to know. We want your likes and your loves and your subscribes. So don't forget us, but still, you've got to go chase that dream, and we want you to do it. So we will see you next Monday. You take care. Thanks for joining us. Bye. I don't even know if I'm off the air or on the air. Holy